Hello and welcome to Beyond. So before I get started, I'm just going to read through a brief disclaimer and then we're going to go through our indicators and what's going on this week. Beyond Trader LLC is strictly a research publishing firm. The information we publish is based on our opinions plus our quantitative models, statistical and financial data and independent research. This service is not registered with any financial regulatory agency such as the SEC or any other organization or governmental body. By using our platform or our services, you acknowledge that we do not provide personalized recommendations or advice. Alternative asset classes are volatile investments and carry significant risk. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Okay, so I guess there's plenty going on in the market at the moment, so there is lots to discuss. But before I begin, I just want to make everybody aware who's subscribed to Beyond that we have recently posted and updated our quantitative framework for how to use our indicators at Beyond. It's a very updated and comprehensive version, and it obviously includes results and backtested morphologies for indicators such as Biyond Atlas and obviously our upgraded Vanguard 3.0. So if you can see the page in front of you now, this is basically a segment from the quantitative framework, and it's actually showing something really interesting in terms of the strategy analysis for some of the best performing coins. So if you can see on here, we've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, Sol, Dogecoin, XRP, Litecoin, AVEX, NEAR, Aave, and Sui. And they're all there for a reason, because these coins have the highest performance against the new Vanguard 3.0 metric. So one thing I wanted to make you aware of is that you can actually go through the different timeframes and you'll get a full kind of briefing about what is the most reliable time frame to use. So for example, here I've got the 12-hour time frame, and it says that the strategy is highly robust, it's got a high Sharpe ratio, and it outperforms the traditional buy and hold strategy by around 631%. And if we go on something like the 6-hour, it's still confirming. The 4-hour is less robust, and it actually has got a warning that it underperforms the buy and hold. And something like the 3-day as well, it's telling you that you have to use the 3-day Vanguard with caution because its year-over-year consistency has some concerns according to our system. So you can see it's a fully comprehensive method about the best morphology rather about the best timeframes to use, and the risks and the benefits in terms of using it. So I highly suggest that you go on there, and as we've been going through all these different coins, we'll see something like BNB has very tremendous results, and so does Sui. So we think lots of people will find it interesting, and also Ethereum also has some very impressive results. So yeah, I'd say go out and check out our new and updated quantitative framework, not only for Vanguard but also for Atlas, and the results are very, very impressive. Okay, so let's begin with what's going on this week with the market. And I think a great place to start would probably be Biyond Atlas. So Biyond Atlas, as we know, it moved into the red zone last week, and it started to generate a warning. And we no doubt have had some very soggy price action over the last couple of days, but things started to liven up around Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And obviously we dropped down towards the 65,000 level, and then we've recovered quite significantly from there. So what we've got at the moment is Vanguard turned lower yesterday, which means that Bitcoin should be going higher. And that happened for the first time in a number of weeks. And the points drop was reasonably impressive, about 13-point decline. So what does this mean? We're still inside the red barrier or the red zone, which means that the trend is still bearish. But because we're turning down and we want to follow the path of least resistance, it actually means that things are becoming more bullish in the short term, and there is more chance of further upside bounces happening. We're not totally convinced, by the way, about this recent move higher. We still feel that Bitcoin has a date with destiny with much lower levels, as I highlighted last week. But the possibility for Bitcoin to move to 73,000 or so is further heightened because Atlas is now moving down, which means obviously there is money going into the blockchain, and obviously there's a component here that measures options volatility. So potentially this is one reason or another reason why we're seeing this move to the upside. And at the moment, like I say, 73 to 74, I don't see it going much higher than that. But this is just telling us that there's an increased probability of this happening. So we need to pay close attention to this going into next week. So I would say all the time that Atlas is dropping, then there's a strong chance that the price is going to be heading higher, and we might be consolidating above the 70,000 area for some time. Further things to highlight why we need to be on guard going into next week, and that would be the long versus short ratio. So we saw a big drop in the long versus short ratio this week, and we can see that retail traders, even though they've started to go long today, there was a big decline. And typically when we start to see this moving lower, retail traders shorting, obviously at the worst moment, or having very unfortunate timing. You can see when there's a wholesale bias in terms of bearish and the risk reward or the ratio being under 1, then there's heightened chance of upside price movements. And because we've started to see this gradual trend lower, which means that retail is selling, therefore it's further complementing what Biyond Atlas is currently telling us. So we need to factor that going into next week, and obviously keep a close watch on this if it goes under 1, because this will mean that the potential short squeeze will only accelerate. Moving on to another one of our flagship indicators, and that's Beyond Vanguard. And at the moment, this is a much improved. However, our key timeframes, such as the 1 week, are obviously letting you know that the overall trend is still bearish. Something like the 1 day, which has highly robust in terms of it being successful when we get a signal, i.e. we get a signal when it turns green. It hasn't turned green yet, but it has turned blue for the first time in a while. So again, it's all leading into the possibility of more upside. And we have finally seen some green on the 6 hour, but it's not conclusive. Ideally, we want to see higher timeframes, such as the 12 hour and the daily, to give us further confidence that the price is going to move marginally higher above the 70,000 area. And of course, until we see a weekly buy signal and Atlas moving outside of the red zone, then we're not worried about the trend change. However, because we are seeing that Atlas is starting to turn lower, it is certainly worth keeping an eye on. But, you know, our base case is that this cycle is going to copy every other cycle, and the bear market is going to last anywhere between 54 and 57 weeks, which means that we're not expecting the market to bottom out, at least until a couple of months away. So we're not getting too excited yet. But if you're an intraday scalper or you like to follow the intraday moves, it's certainly interesting that Atlas has started to move down for the first time in a long time after its record run higher over the last couple of weeks. We've never seen a move that fast in Atlas as Bitcoin has collapsed lower. And obviously we got ultra bearish sentiment towards the crypto market this week. So it's no real surprise to see a temporary rebound. So moving into next week, an interesting week ahead. And I kind of feel that we're going to just slowly gravitate before we get or gravitate higher rather, before we get the next big sell-off coming. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it this week. And obviously don't forget to check out our quantitative framework. You'll definitely enjoy that. So thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.